In 1998, the small desert town of Dry Creek, Nevada, vanished from every map overnight. Locals recalled how the air changed that morning. Dense, metallic, and heavy with a strange fog that rolled in from nowhere. Military trucks arrived under cover of darkness, sealing every exit road with barricades and barbed wire. Claire Dawson, a nurse at the town clinic, watched as soldiers in hazmat suits dragged lifeless bodies from homes. Those who tried to flee were turned back at gunpoint. The next morning, loudspeakers blared across town. This area is now under containment. Do not attempt to leave. Within hours, phone lines were dead and electricity flickered out. The government announced a minor chemical incident, but Claire knew better. The screams at night told a different story, one of fear, infection, and something far worse that had just begun beneath their feet. IT started with coughs, dry, rasping, and deep enough to rattle the ribs. Then came the black fluid, thick and tar-like, dripping from the mouths of the sick. The fog crept into every home, carrying whispers that seemed to echo inside people's heads. Radios stopped working, except for one channel repeating the same static-filled phrase, "Containment compromised." Claire found Officer Miller, one of the few who hadn't fallen ill yet, hiding inside the police station surrounded by half-burnt reports. He told her about Raven Point Lab, a secret military facility hidden beyond the hills where the government had been experimenting with bioadaptive particles. "This isn't a virus," he said. "It's evolving." That night, screams filled the streets as the infected began to move in strange, jerking patterns. Their eyes glowed faintly in the dark point 3 days into the lockdown. A CNN journalist named Adam Rees slipped into Dry Creek through the old mining tunnels. His camera captured soldiers in hazmat suits piling corpses into mass graves behind the town's church. He uploaded the footage, but within minutes it was taken down and his live feed cut to static. Meanwhile, the Pentagon held a press briefing, calling the video AI-generated misinformation. Claire and Officer Miller watched in disbelief. The infection had changed again. People no longer screamed. They whispered in perfect unison, "We remember the fire." Their skin began to harden, their bodies radiating faint heat like cooling metal. Miller realized it wasn't a disease, but an awakening. Something ancient and intelligent inside the nanotech was learning to use the human body as its vessel. 3 years before the outbreak, in 1995, a classified operation known as Project Ember took place in the Nevada desert. The U.S. Army had developed nanothermic particles meant to heal soldiers' wounds instantly by regenerating burned or damaged tissue. But the experiment spiraled when the particles began self-replicating beyond control. Exposure to radiation altered their behavior, making them capable of merging with living cells. When the scientists tried to terminate the test subjects, they found the nanotech had fused with their nervous systems, granting them heightened strength and violent instability. The survivors were sealed inside a deep lab chamber, their existence erased from official records. Years later, an underground tremor cracked the containment vault beneath Raven Point Lab. The sealed fire was unleashed again, and its hunger found a new host. The people of Dry Creek, unknowingly breathing in their own extinction. The power grid failed on the 5th night. Food spoiled, water turned oily, and animals vanished from the outskirts. Claire and Miller searched for survivors, finding only empty houses and radios hissing faint static that almost sounded like breathing. Then they discovered a secret military message left on a fallen soldier's device. Stage 7 initiated. Prepare for scorched earth termination. The government planned to wipe out the entire town with airstrikes to hide the truth. While searching the underground tunnels, Claire heard deep, rhythmic sounds, pulsing like a heartbeat. When they shined their flashlights deeper, they found a horrifying sight. A massive mound of bodies fused together, twitching as one. The infection had created a hive, using heat and sound to communicate. "It's alive," Miller whispered, "and it's growing." Claire began recording her last transmission, speaking into a broken handheld recorder. Her voice trembled as she revealed the truth. The infection didn't kill, it preserved. The nanothermic particles had learned to reanimate tissue, keeping the host alive even after death. "They're building something," she said, describing the hive beneath the town, its movements coordinated like a living machine. The military's mission wasn't to save Dry Creek. It was to contain a weapon they'd lost control of decades earlier. She begged whoever found her tape to destroy all evidence and never return. In the background of her recording, faint whispers echoed, thousands of voices speaking as one. When she turned the camera on herself, her pupils glowed faintly red. "It's inside me now," she whispered, "and it doesn't want to die." Before dawn, military drones filled the sky. The town erupted in flames as missiles tore through what was left of Dry Creek. The ground shook as the hive screamed, a sound like thousands of human voices melting into one agonized roar. Claire's transmission ended mid-sentence, buried in static. The fire burned for 3 days, consuming everything. The official statement claimed a methane explosion destroyed the area, leaving no survivors. But weeks later, thermal satellites detected faint movement beneath the ashes, slow, deliberate, and spreading toward the desert. The dead zone was declared permanently sealed, but soldiers stationed nearby reported strange vibrations at night and distant cries carried through the wind. Whatever they tried to destroy wasn't gone. It was evolving underground, waiting for warmth. 25 years later, in 2023, a YouTuber named Ryan Cole stumbled upon a forgotten military archive labeled Dead Zone Protocol. Inside was a corrupted video file containing Claire's final transmission. Ryan streamed the footage live to his audience, showing her terrified face as she whispered, "It's still alive." Midway through the broadcast, his screen glitched, displaying coordinates in Nevada where Dry Creek once stood. Seconds later, his stream cut to black. Viewers reported hearing faint static whispers through their headphones and feeling their devices heat up. Within hours, Ryan's channel vanished, and his home was found empty. Only his laptop remained, frozen on the words, "Containment compromised." Days later, satellites detected unusual thermal activity in the same coordinates. The dead zone was breathing again, and this time, the world was listening.